What's up, everybody? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and hope you guys have a great New Year's that's coming. Definitely a huge thank you to you watchers, because hopefully over time I will get more viewers and whatnot, and I can generate more ad revenue to put towards AZ-1 and Cara projects like this, because I finance a lot of this stuff like out of my own pocket, and this is my hobby of burning money. So, I mean, I have lots of other hobbies where I spend money on, but this one is probably the most outrageous one. Now, beyond just viewing and liking my videos, the most important group of people are you people that actually buy the parts that go to this car. You guys are the MVPs spending your money to basically crowdfund these things so we can get more things, because this is only going to get wilder than these. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to work on next after this, but there's a few things in the pipeline already, so maybe I just want to finish those things. But let's get to the situation where we have almost full support of part replacements for the Autozam AZ-1 and Suzuki Cara. And some of these parts overlap to other cars, so we could share too. You can see my Cara is over on this side with the lift now. So I took all the body panels off. You can see the surface rust on things. I'm going to bring you with me. You can see all this little surface rust on stuff. It's just dirty. A lot of this is probably just dust and dirt and whatnot. I'm gonna have to clean it all off. I think I'm gonna use a steam cleaner. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use yet. I'm gonna clean it off. I'm gonna pour 15 the whole thing, and then I'll actually like coat it so it should look like a factory finish. Kind of like that. That's what I'm going for. I don't know, that's what I'm trying to do at least. I'm gonna have to do a few things to the car. I also want to do that engine out that I keep talking about that I haven't gotten around to. But that's what I'm working on right now. That's the update. My truck is over here. I'm trying to wire the thing. I realized a lot of the electrical connectors are not going to be the same length, because the positioning of the motor to the dash or whatever is not exactly the same. I'm going to have to figure how that stuff will work. I think I will likely have to cut and splice stuff. I'm not looking forward to it. I've been procrastinating, I understand. But let's take this opportunity to talk about the updates on upcoming things for parts for this guy. These are the sample set of anti-roll bars for this. It's the Mazdaspeed Spec size, so it's 28 millimeters in the front and 22 millimeters in the rear. However, I had a situation with the manufacturer, and I'm going to talk about that as I open these up. I know shipping could probably improve in some way or form, because they're just kind of exposed and dinking around. I hope I didn't lose the bushings or whatnot. The anti-roll bar project I started, I wanted to, like everything else I've been making, I wanted to have them made in the US. But in this case, I didn't really have a choice, because the manufacturers I spoke with, they didn't want to make this type of anti-roll bar, the one with the threaded ends. They would rather make the kind that has like the little hole for like an end link joint. But it is what it is. I was able to, oh yeah, I see hardware scattered. I don't like that. So I had to source these from an anti-roll bar manufacturer from China. And so far it looks pretty good. As long as I didn't lose stuff out of here, it should be alright. See, this was how it was packed. It's literally just free floating in here, bouncing around. I don't like that. I'm going to talk to them about this. But the hardware was in here. It looks like the box exploded and scattered all the stuff out. It looks like both of those are still here. They made the rubber bushings for these. That's cool. 2 washers. Here's 1 castle nut. I bet I lost the castle nut. And I bet I lost some of these bushings too. Oh, there's one here. Okay, so I'm missing one of these bushings. Probably fell out of that hole. Okay, shouldn't be a problem. What they could probably do is kind of mount the hardware onto there, so, and then secure it with this. Theoretically, that would make it okay. I think this is the front bar because it's so thick. Let's open the rear bar here. So the situation about China, this manufacturer seems to be a reputable OEM sway bar manufacturer, but they seem like a bunch of amateurs. There are probably reasons for the way they operate the way they do, but it doesn't make any sense to me, especially when there's issues that arise. So, let's see. This one was packed a little bit better.
The box of hardware did not explode on this one.
Okay. And this one is a much thinner bar, so this is definitely the rear bar.
Let's open, separate this from there. Okay. Are these the same? I would hope they're the same.
This here is an OEM sway bar end link bushing, and this is one of the ones they created. Theoretically, they should be the same. They're a little bit different. Almost exactly the same. I believe they will fit because the hole looks like it's the same. Yeah. I'll measure with calipers or something, but this looks to be good. The stiffness is about the same. I'm not scientifically measuring this stuff. So the original idea was for me to send them a sample of the original bars, which I did. I provided them an original rear and front bar. That's how they got the whole bend measurements and angles and whatnot to make these bars. And that was supposed to be nice and simple, right? Yes and no. Let's roll back time a bunch. When this first started and they received my samples and they started work, they merrily went on the way and started creating things. And somewhere, I think a month into it, when we were about to be expected to be done, they told me they had an issue. The rear bar didn't fit properly, and that's what I've told you guys about before. And I was like, okay, that's not a big deal. You guys messed it up, and you guys will fix it or whatever. Customer service has been okay throughout this process when we were like being in contact with them and me asking for updates and whatnot. And they're like, okay, yeah, no problem. We'll remake them. It'll take a little time. I'm like, sure, take your time. Because I'm not in like a big rush for them, but you know, just let me know what's going on. That's important. Communication's important. That's what I like to do here. A bunch of time passes by. They contact me again. And they're like, hey, we got the stuff ready. They showed me some pictures of it. It looks great. So I was like, okay, that's awesome. You guys fixed it. We're going to get bars. Everybody's going to get the bars. Everybody's going to be happy. So here it is. This is the rear sway bar. You can't see it, but this isn't the right size. This is where it gets funny because the original batch of bars, they created all 50 bars that I've ordered. I ordered 50 sets. That was the minimum quantity. So I have to have 50 front, 50 rear. So they made all 50 rear bars, and then they discovered that one of these, like I think this bend was wrong, and this was off by like an inch or so. That wouldn't fit because of how the control arms work. So I told them that, and then that's what they were working on. So they fixed that by scrapping the whole 22 millimeter set. So 50 of these all scrapped. What's this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 50, like 200, 300 foot of bar wasted. So those bars gone, no problem. So they went ahead and made a whole new batch. And then they contacted me. I asked them, great, send me a sample. I wanted a front and a rear so I could test fit it in my car to make sure everything fits. I can check that the quality is okay. All that fun stuff. Then I could market it and sell it to you guys because you guys want upgraded sway bars for when you go autocrossing, track days. It's just for fun on the road, that kind of stuff. 2 weeks after I paid for shipping and it got sent out C-mail because Express would have been expensive for something like this because of its size. The administrative person that I've been speaking with, like back and forth in the chat, they reached out to me and they said, oh, by the way, our engineers said that they made these bushings to be spec'd to be 22 millimeter. However, the bar they sent me is a 20 millimeter bar. And I was like, what? And that they wanted me to verify that the 20 millimeter bar would fit. So that way they can make new 20 millimeter bushings for me. And then for my inconvenience of this whole ordeal, they were going to give me a 20% discount on my next order for 22 millimeter bars. And that's when it hit me. And I was just like, hey, I'm reading these messages at night because it's China, the time zones or whatever. I'm like, does that mean you sent me 20 millimeter bars? And I had to like question this whole thing. And they're like, yes, the bars are 20 millimeter because they had to scrap the 22 millimeter bars and start over with these. And because it could save time to use the 20 millimeter stuff they had on hand for their other stuff. They didn't have to order, they couldn't order 22 mil in time or whatever it was. And I'm just thinking like, and what? Let me get this straight. You just made another 50 of 20 millimeter bars And you tell me now after you sent it to me, not when we were doing this. And what? So I went over the whole thing. They clarified, yes, they made 20mm bars because it would be faster to meet my timeline or whatever. I'm like, dude, how come nobody asked me this? Why would nobody ask me? Because my specification was 22mm and now we're going to 20mm. Nobody talked about this. Nobody sent me, hey, is this okay? Whatever. Like, you just went ahead and made 50 more bars in the wrong specification, and I have no use for them. I have no use for them because nobody's going to buy a 20mm bar. The car comes with a 20mm bar. The only reason you would ever need a 20mm bar is if yours rusted away and you wanted to stay with the stock size and you couldn't buy a used one on Yahoo Auctions for some reason. I mean, they're frequently on Yahoo Auctions. That's where I got my samples from. At this point, I think they started realizing that was a big problem because my specification is 22. I'm not going to take the 2020 order. And then they told me, oh no, we lost a lot of money on this because we had to scrap the whole entire first order. And now you can't take this. I'm like, I mean, I feel bad because, you know, you gotta lose out on this. But I'm like, dude, I can't use them. And they said, maybe someone could need it. I'm like, well, I think the only way someone would actually need it is if the car was in some sort of a collision damage and it bent the bar. But, I mean, to bend the anti-roll bar down there, it's a pretty bad strike. You're probably not going to be able to save the car, so that's useless. And they probably realized they goofed. So they're like, okay, we understand, and we're going to make the 22mm bars. All right. It's okay that you needed more time. Like, I'm okay with that. We're waiting for it anyways, but like it's just smart business. Like, wouldn't you want to check before you change specification on somebody? Anyways, they are making the bars. They're coming soon. They're about to be completed, and then they're gonna get painted. So it's another week or so, and then a couple more weeks. Maybe I'll eat the cost and express this bar to me. I don't know, just to get everything done quickly. I might have to do that. It's not a big issue. I don't know. Is it? You guys probably would think differently, but I think it's a funny story. I think it's really stupid the way they're doing their stuff. It's like, why would you not do like a one-off to like before you continue mass production? Like, why wouldn't you check that the first product is good before you waste all your material making a bad product? I don't know. Maybe that's just how they do it there. And then why wouldn't you ask your customer if you could change something? I don't know, whatever. They're going to make it right. They're going to fix it. It's fine. I bought this to operate like this. It's my first time using Alibaba. It's actually pretty cool. You can have some like wild things made. All right, so here they are. I'm going to verify thickness of the bar. This is the front bar. It's supposed to be 28 or so. There it is, 2801. That's pretty good. Let's check over here. I don't see why it would be different. 28 and some. It's a little difficult here. But yeah, 28. So that's pretty good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Paint quality is pretty good. It looks right. I don't know what kind of... I don't think it's powder coated. But it looks like it held up okay. Even dinking around in the poor packaging. It held up pretty good. Same with the rear bar. It looks pretty good to me. I will also be providing a bushing kit. It's rubber, it's not poly, but I mean, we can look into getting poly at some other point. You're gonna do that. You're gonna put this washer here, I think, and then you're gonna get your castle nut to do that. Yeah, that looks good. The paint on the castle nut is a little iffy. It looks like they missed a spot. What else? And then you're gonna get a cotter pin. I don't have a cotter pin here, but I can also supply cotter pins. So that's gonna be attached to your car. That looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna do it in this video. It'll be soon because I'm busy for the holidays and stuff. I will test fit these things to the car to make sure everything fits okay. So there'll be like an install video. I will do a drive video, but I don't want to install the 20mm and test, so I want to wait for the 22 before I do that. I just wanted to give you a peek at what's going on in my world here, like in this whole parts manufacturing or like contracting situation where I try to make parts available again for this car. That's what I have to deal with. Some things go smoothly, some things don't. This is my first time dealing with something overseas. It's interesting. It's fun to learn this, I guess. I'm not sure how I can apply this to anything else that I do. Maybe I can do other things. I don't know. I mean, it really isn't that bad. I usually like to deal with a local manufacturer, a local shop or whatever, because that way I can kind of keep tabs on what's going on. I bet if a local place could be making this stuff, that wouldn't have ever happened. However, I mean, to be fair, these would have been very expensive to be made in the US. Because I did get quotes, and that was before they realized it was that kind of sway bar with the little threaded rod end, where then they decided, nah, we're not going to do those. So making them in China is cheaper. Quality looks pretty good. We just had to deal with these kinks. Once I get all these parts available, you know, then I figure out how to box them up better than this. I gotta buy like material, all this stuff. This is why everything takes so long. I hope to have those things ready in like a month or two, like ready to actually like ship out to you guys. Once again, a huge thanks to you guys watching, and definitely a huge thanks to you guys buying the parts to help the cause. And before I go, I do have a quick update on the whole trim and seal situation. So the second company I sent my stuff out to, they decided, oh, we can't make the stuff because it's like thermoset and thermo something. And that like some of this stuff is EPDM stuff, and the company that they represented or whatever, they don't do that stuff. So that's fine. I got all my stuff back and I went off to find another manufacturer, and it seems like they can make this stuff. Fingers crossed. Third time's the charm. I think I'm gonna cart that stuff over there, but that project probably won't start until that situation is done, because I have a whole bunch of money tied up in that, and these are expensive, or at least the dies are expensive. And I don't know. Stay tuned for this. Please subscribe for more K-Car content, specifically the AZ-1 Cara. That seems to be my specialty now. It's my thing. This is my thing. But I will be still working on this, and there'll be an update for that soon, because there's just so much backlog of this. There's more AZ-1 Cara stuff showing up before I get to the truck. Although the truck is over there, I can start working on it there, and I can do this other stuff here. But anyways, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys in the new year. Happy New Year. Bye.